In the famous setting of Las Vegas, the ongoing boxing rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico continued, with Canelo Alvarez facing Edgar Berlanga.
Defeat, I'm king now. We came out short. I'm a winner at the end of the day. So, I'm always, everybody's, they're excited, because of, the outcome and how we performed and stuff, but I'm a winner at the end of the day. I fought a legend tonight. I take my hat off to Canelo, man. He's a legend,
But for me, one of the most pleasing things was the boxes that he ticked. An impregnable chin that took every shot in the artillery of Canelo Alvarez. And to be honest, the knockdown was an incredible left hook. It was kind of like a flash knockdown, but he was never really hurt in the entire fight. And even when he got dropped, he came back, he was firing back, and people loved.
Despite the clear tension leading up to the fight, Berlanga earned respect for his resilience, even though it wasn't enough to win. Eddie Hearn praised his effort, acknowledging that he was competing at a higher level than ever before. Hearn pointed out that while Berlanga was outmatched, he remained competitive throughout, showing he could hold his own despite the tough circumstances.
I mean, we know that you hope that you can go and win a fight like that, but also there's always the worry that you're fighting at a level that you've never been at before. And are you good enough to compete? He was well beaten, but he was competitive.
Hearn also praised Berlanga's response to the knockdown, calling it an impressive recovery. He noted Berlanga's aggression right after, highlighting his resilience and fighting spirit, which he believed resonated well with the audience.
What I liked as well is, other than the knockdown, which although it was an unbelievable shot that would have knocked out an horse, it was kind of like a flash knockdown. And when he got up, he was swinging. Do you know what I mean? He got backed up in the corner and he was letting his hands go. And I think that, people like that. And I think he got hit by some huge shots tonight and took the kitchen sink of Canelo.
Canelo once again failed to get a knockout, but with his vast experience and dominance. Performances, including a key knockdown in the third round, he secured a unanimous decision to defend his titles. Eddie Hearn observed that despite Alvarez's powerful hits, Berlanga managed to withstand the pressure. Hearn believed that Berlanga's power is often underestimated and suggested that he could be the biggest name at 168 lbs, thanks to his performance and resilience.
Questioned his chin, people questioned his heart, and he's a young man with quite limited experience. I thought he did really well. He's going to grow so much from those 12 rounds. And
the fight between Canelo and Berlanga was intense, with moments of headbutts and both fighters continuing to exchange punches even after the referee intervened. The rough nature of the fight was especially clear in rounds 9 and 10. One notable moment occurred when the bell for the final 10 seconds of a round rang, but Canelo, thinking the round had ended, started moving toward his corner. It was during this moment that Berlanga landed his most significant punch of the fight, catching Canelo off guard with a powerful strike. This punch, one of the few clean shots Berlanga landed, stood out in a match full of rule violations and tough exchanges. Berlanga deserves credit for withstanding Canelo's strongest attacks throughout the match. Jim Lampley commented on Berlanga's unexpected competitiveness and determination, noting that despite the skill gap between him and Alvarez, Berlanga showed a strong will to compete. Lampley had expected Alvarez to dominate every round if the fight went the distance, which he felt largely happened.
He wanted the stoppage bad. Unlike the Munguia fight where he kind of carried Munguia a little bit, he wanted to knock Berlanga out. And you could see how hard he was trying to do that. And he couldn't do it. He hit him with the kitchen sink. But Edgar was smart in there as well. I said before, his ring IQ is underrated. And if you look at the division now, my question is, tell me a more valuable fighter or a bigger name at 168.
Jim Lampley was surprised by Edgar Berlanga's size advantage over Canelo Alvarez as they entered the ring. This difference in size made Lampley briefly reconsider his earlier belief that Berlanga had no chance against Canelo, as he wondered how much the physical difference could affect the fight.
Berlanga, who I think probably surprised a lot of people with his competitiveness and his will to be in the fight and try to win. Obviously, he doesn't have anywhere near the craft and experience and resourcefulness that Canelo has. I expected that if it went the distance, Canelo would win every round. I think he...
Despite his initial second thoughts, Lampley noticed that Berlanga's approach as a straightforward power puncher didn't work against a versatile fighter like Canelo. This confirmed his belief that a different style is needed. To challenge Canelo effectively, Lampley said, "The one style you'll never beat Canelo with is just being a straight-ahead power puncher. Berlanga tried his hardest to land something big, but that's not how you beat Canelo. Even if Berlanga were much better, he wouldn't win with that style." Despite the challenges, Berlanga, a young and determined fighter, pushed himself to the end of the fight, showing great heart. Even though it might have been smarter to stop the fight after the 9th or 10th round due to the score gap, Jeff Mayweather commented that Berlanga fought cautiously at first, instead of aggressively showing his skills from the start.
What surprised me about Berlanga was when they got into the ring, I was a little surprised to see how much bigger he is than Canelo. And I thought for a few seconds there, maybe I'm wrong in having told people that Berlanga has no chance.
Jeff Mayweather observed that as the fight went on, Berlanga started taking more risks, but he noted that this shift in strategy came too late in the bout to make a significant impact. Gareth Davies, frustrated at times during the fight, pointed out how Berlanga resorted to headbutting Canelo despite multiple warnings from the referee. Canelo humorously acknowledged his irritation after the fight, saying it was due to his Mexican heritage, which made the crowd cheer. Davies, an experienced sports commentator, praised Berlanga's efforts, noting how he transformed into a strong contender through his confidence and commitment before the fight. Davies said, "He turned himself into a worthy opponent. He talked confidently in the build-up, saying he was going to bring it, and he did. It brought out the best in Canelo, but unfortunately..."
I thought that Berlanga came out. Actually, I thought he was going to come out and try to show what he had. But he was very cautious.
Gareth Davies highlighted a key moment in the fight when Berlanga landed punches that momentarily unsettled Canelo. However, Canelo responded quickly with a powerful left hook that caught Berlanga off guard, leading to a knockdown. This was a clear example of Canelo's resilience and his ability to quickly turn the fight in his favor.
But it seemed a little later in the fight he was willing to take chances, but it was too late.
Davies pointed out that although Berlanga tried to recover after the knockdown, the judges' scorecards reflected Canelo's dominant performance throughout the fight. He noted that for Berlanga to have won, it would have required an off night from Canelo and a truly exceptional performance from Berlanga.
Canelo was always going to beat him. I picked a landslide points victory or a late stoppage for Canelo. They had quite a decent scrap, but Canelo was always one step ahead. It's if you were to rank him in the kind of the recent 3 or 4 fights with Jamel Charlo and Jaime Munguia, he's probably up there somewhere near Caleb Plant's challenge to Canelo, where he forced him into engage and into engagement. But it just brought out the best in
Canelo. Alvarez dominated throughout the fight against the less experienced Berlanga, controlling the bout but failing to score a knockout. Despite this, his performance satisfied his fans. Canelo addressed online criticism about not securing a knockout, explaining that in boxing, the goal is to prove who is the best over 12 rounds. He said, "The 12 rounds are for showing who's the best. The knockout is unpredictable. You can't just get it because you want to." Did I want to? Of course I did, but there's also an opponent in front of you who also does things well. So I did my thing and proved I was the best over all 12 rounds. Alvarez, often criticized for his choice of opponents, proved his skill once again. His win, cheered on by over 20,000 fans during Mexican Independence Day weekend, showcased his strategic ability and his power to excite and unite boxing fans. Caleb Plant commented that while it was a good match, he felt it was one-sided from the start, believing Berlanga was too defensive. Plant also expressed excitement about upcoming big matches, mentioning potential showdowns with top fighters like Berlanga, Canelo, or Jermall Charlo.
He delivered a strong fight, but as the judges' card showed, Matthew, there was a powerful performance by Canelo, even though we knew all along that it was unlikely that Berlanga was going to beat him. Canelo needed to have a terrible night, and Berlanga needed to have an amazing night for there to be anything near parity.
Celebrating Mexican Independence Day, Canelo expressed pride in representing his country on such an important occasion. He thanked his fans for their support and humorously addressed both his supporters and critics in his victory speech, ending with a spirited "Viva Mexico, cabrones," Canelo said, "This victory means a lot to me. I feel great and grateful. It's an honor to represent my country on Mexican Independence Day. I'm proud of that. Some people say you don't. Love me, but guess what? You're here to support me. Viva Mexico, cabrones." He also reflected on his opponent's performance, noting that Berlanga had changed his fighting style to a more defensive approach, which he believed impacted the outcome. Canelo emphasized that he stayed focused and did his best to secure the victory.
Good fight. Didn't really feel like Berlanga, not to be hating, but didn't really win around. He was on the defensive a lot. But me and Canelo, me and Berlanga, me and Charlo, I think those are three big fights that the boxing world will love, and three big fights that I'd love to be in as well.
After the fight, Canelo Alvarez responded to the ongoing criticism about his choice of opponents. He addressed the changing narrative, with some now criticizing him for facing younger fighters instead of older ones. Alvarez dismissed the criticism, reinforcing his confidence in his own abilities. He said, "I did good. Now what are they going to say? I fight younger fighters, and before they said I fight older fighters, they always talk. I'm the best fighter in the world." The knockdown in the third round was a clear example of Canelo's boxing skill, as he took advantage of a momentary lapse in Berlanga's defense, landing a heavy left hook. Reflecting on his performance, Alvarez said, "It's my experience, talent, hard work, and intelligence altogether. If you have talent but no discipline, you have nothing. If you have discipline but no talent, you still have nothing. You need both and hard work." Canelo retained his title and showed no signs of slowing down. Nico Ali Walsh shared his excitement about the fight night, praising Berlanga's performance, which exceeded many people's expectations, and added that the fight involving Caleb Plant added to the overall excitement.
I'm not surprised. I think he don't fight like he used to fight. He defend himself a little more. That's why it happened what happened. But I did what I supposed to do. Being there and fight and do my best and win.
Nico Ali Walsh continued his comments, emphasizing Berlanga's readiness for such a high-profile match and praising Canelo Alvarez's continued dominance in the sport. Walsh expressed confidence in Canelo's abilities, suggesting that Canelo could easily defeat other top fighters in his weight class in the early rounds of a fight. During the fight analysis, Berlanga landed some punches, but they weren't very effective. He connected on only 21% of his jabs and 35% of his power punches, compared to Alvarez's more precise 35% jabs and 49% power punches. After the fight, Berlanga shared his mixed feelings. He acknowledged his disappointment, but also recognized the importance of facing a seasoned fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Berlanga hoped this tough match would be a step toward becoming a legendary boxer, especially as a representative of Puerto Rico. He said, "I'm upset because at the end of the day, I'm a winner. But I fought a legend tonight, and hopefully, this is the start of me becoming a future legend for Puerto Rico." Berlanga also discussed his resilience, especially after taking Canelo's hardest shot in the third round. He pointed out how he recovered and kept fighting, using the experience to prove his ability to endure tough challenges. "I was in the fight. We fighters need to throw each other off their game. I took his best shot in the third round, got dropped, but came back. That was the best he gave me, and I said, I can take these punches and return them." Frank Smith spoke positively about Berlanga's performance against Canelo, acknowledging that this was Berlanga's first fight against a boxer of Alvarez's level. Despite some doubts about Berlanga's readiness, Smith highlighted his journey to becoming a mandatory challenger and praised his resilience during the fight.
It's a testament more to maybe Canelo slowing down or Berlanga just really prepared for the moment?
No, just prepared for the moment. Canelo's not slowing down. He's the king right now, and you put Canelo against anyone else at that weight, and he'll take him out.
Frank Smith reflected on the key moment in the third round when Berlanga almost went down, but quickly recovered. He praised the quality of the punch from Canelo and Berlanga's ability to bounce back and re-engage in the fight.
He's never been in with anyone at the level of Canelo Alvarez. People question him getting the shot, the opportunity. He worked his way into a position to be mandatory, and he showed in there why he deserved the opportunity. Because, even when he got put down, he came out fighting. Came out fighting the whole way throughout that fight. 100% it's gone up in this big fight.
Continuing his analysis, Smith acknowledged the doubts about Berlanga's ability to compete at such a high level. He noted that while Berlanga didn't win, his performance against a fighter like Canelo significantly raised his profile. Smith emphasized that this fight sets the stage for Berlanga to be part of major fights in the future.
Shot is an amazing shot, so quick as well. So, but when you saw him got up, he seemed right back into it. I don't think at any point really he was hurt in the fight, but unbelievable.
Frank Smith discussed potential future matchups involving Caleb Plant and other fighters. He expressed confidence in organizing these exciting bouts thanks to his strong relationship with Premier Boxing Champions, PBC. Smith was optimistic about the possibility of these matchups and highlighted the excitement they could bring to the boxing world.
Caleb Plant's a brilliant fight. That'd be a great fight.
That's a great build-up as well with those two.
Between the two of them. Caleb Plant.
Is that a fight that you think now, with your relationship with PBC, you would be able to make?
I think so, for sure. And the other fight, even like the likes of the Munguia fights, the Pacheco fights and somewhat, they're all great fights to be made, and they're all fights that will get made.
Although Canelo won the fight, it's clear that Berlanga won the hearts of many with his resilience and ability to take a huge punch and stay on his feet. Leonard Ellerbe shared his thoughts on the main event, noting that even though Berlanga didn't win against Canelo, his performance worked in his favor. Ellerbe pointed out that sometimes, even after a loss in the ring, a fighter can gain fan support and boost their profile.
Entertaining. Canelo did his thing, and Berlanga, he gained more fans from the loss. Sometimes a loss is a win. So in this particular case, I think it's a win, even though he took a beating. It's a win for him moving forward.
Leonard Ellerbe explained how the fight's dynamics changed, observing that Berlanga gained confidence as the rounds went on. This confidence was evident as Berlanga took Canelo's hardest shots without showing significant weakness, showcasing his toughness.
Fights like this, you see that with him being the opponent, he started gaining confidence as the rounds went on. Is that he took Canelo's best shots, and Canelo, he has a variety of things in his arsenal.
Ellerbe continued discussing the challenge of securing a knockout against larger opponents like Berlanga, who have the physical ability to withstand powerful strikes. Despite Canelo's efforts and the variety of techniques he used, Berlanga's toughness made it difficult for Canelo to end the fight early. Ellerbe added, "It wasn't that Canelo wasn't trying to stop him, but Berlanga was tough. These guys are much bigger, and it's hard to get them out of there, no matter how much you have in your arsenal." Oscar Valdez expressed surprise and admiration for the fight, particularly impressed by Berlanga's resilience in lasting all 12 rounds, despite taking a brutal left hook from Canelo that knocked him down. Valdez was especially impressed by how Berlanga recovered from such a powerful shot.
12 rounds, especially after that brutal left hook that sent him to the canvas. I was more impressed on how Berlanga got up from that left hook. But, I take my hat up for both fighters. Canelo, he obviously won very clear, landing those big shots. And it was very impressive also to see Berlanga.
Oscar Valdez praised Canelo's intelligence, confidence, discipline, and boxing skills, noting how these qualities made him a formidable boxer. He also admired Canelo's ability to balance his personal and professional life, pointing out his success outside the ring. Despite all his accomplishments, Valdez emphasized Canelo's commitment to training.
IQ, his confidence, his discipline, his boxing skills, it's a bit of everything combined. And one thing that I admire about Canelo, he has it all. He's got a beautiful family, a beautiful wife. He's got all the money. He's got businesses. He's got literally everything anyone could ask for. And he's still in the gym every single day. I bet you anything that by Monday, he's back in the gym with the whole crew. So that's something that I always admire about Canelo, that, he works out.
Always supportive of the best fighters, Claressa Shields expressed strong admiration for Edgar Berlanga's performance against Canelo. She highlighted his resilience and spirit during the fight, particularly noting how impressively he withstood Canelo's attacks, something she felt was unprecedented compared to other fighters.
What I want to say is, Edgar, you fought your
for sure, bro.
I'm never
super proud of you, man.
I have never seen nobody stand up to that man like that.
That's right.
Never. Nobody.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
You got knocked down third round, got a brawler.
That's right. Word. Fighting.
Claressa Shields continued her encouragement for Berlanga, expressing her belief in his potential to become a world champion. She emphasized her experience in identifying the qualities of a champion, projecting confidence in Berlanga's future success in boxing.
With a lot of people respect. And bro, you keep doing your thing, bro. We super proud of you.
Edgar, you're gonna be world champ, I promise you. I know. I know world champ. You know, if anybody know, I know. You're gonna be world champ.
As the dust settles, what do you think lies ahead for Berlanga? Can he rise to the challenges ahead and claim a world title? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more exciting fight analyses and predictions right here on our channel.